Back at it again, video number 2 today. Yeah, you heard me right. I feel like making another video because I have 600, well, that's crazy after my last video, about 666 miles to go. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, so my last video isn't as important as this video. I definitely want to clear up something that I've been seeing a lot lately. For some reason, people are trapped in their delusions, and that's fine. That's fine because it's normal. What you think about and what you perceive becomes your reality. And I think it's very important to understand that. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. So, I've always drove this as a very important topic of discussion, that you are the master of your reality. A lot of people believe that it is simply objective. But what figures out what objective is? The subjective. The subject interprets the object and it becomes its own thing. It is designed to, what you believe is designed to be that in which you believe. It's in your belief structure. It is your ideas behind it. It is your understanding of something, which directly results in those conclusions and those results. Right? I don't think she's going to watch my video, but there's a woman that I've known for a while, and her father died. I want to say last year, maybe 8 months ago or something. And her father died. She was devastated, and she's doing things now that's kind of creepy, where she's setting up cameras, like her father's old camera, in her house or apartment. I don't know where she lives right now. And she's using that as a mechanism to try to capture her father on camera, even though he's dead. Now, it's very important to understand, knowing me, I'm a philosopher. I'm not somebody that just is going to sit there and be like, oh, makes sense to me. No, I'm pretty sure she ain't going to watch my video, but, so I'm going to just call her out on it. Obviously, I'm going to make it anonymous. Sets her camera on top of the refrigerator and catches a shadow in the night. Yeah. So she sends me this. I'm not going to send it to you guys and let you guys see that, but just stay with me. She has one of those cameras that are a little iffy. It's like, like kind of see like things. And she saw a shadow walk by that was humanoid, like a humanoid shadow. She sent it to me. She goes, is this my father? I'm like, no, it's not. But if you believe it, then it becomes your father. Okay? You're using your father's camera. And she goes, well, just the day before, or that day, whatever it was, that day, she said that she felt her father. So she went on her father's Facebook page and direct messaged her father that's dead on Facebook. I know that you're trying to contact me, is what she wrote. Something along those lines. Again, I'm not going to show you guys, and I'm not going to put her on blast on exactly what was said, but essentially, I know that you're calling out to me. Make a sign. Give me a sign if you're there. I'm going to set up a camera tonight. Something like that. So she finds a shadow figure going across her camera at night. She sends me all this evidence. Now, of course, she asked me, she goes, is my father really trying to contact me? And I said, no. You really miss your father. You're trying to contact him. But there's nothing to contact, right? I didn't say that to her. There's nothing to contact. But I did explain to her, and I think a lot of people need to understand this. If you believe something or want something and intend on something so much, it will happen. Your power of intention can only be stopped by an adverse or a adversary type of intention, right? It's like two football teams. They go against each other. The only way that one wins is the intention is higher than the other team. They practice harder, their attention was greater, they sweat more, they gave 110% instead of 90%. You know what I'm getting at, right? The higher intention is going to win that game. Now, the only way they can stop that intention, because they both want to win, is who has higher intention to stop the other intention. Well, if you don't have an adverse intention, another intention that is designed to go against you or curse your original intention, then that intention will play out. This is important to realize, because if you want something so bad, even if it's fantasy, if you believe it's real and don't believe it's fantasy, and it will manifest into some point of your reality, and you will capture it on camera. It's weird, right? But you're going to believe something based on what you want, your intention is. But if you believe that you saw your dad because of a humanoid shadow, you're fooling yourself. Your dad is dead. He did not resurrect into a shadow creature that you can capture on camera. Your father is also not reading his Facebook page, right? Your father's not reading what you wrote to him on Facebook. He's dead. So how did he go to your Facebook? Oh, you're going to set up a camera? Oh, okay, I'm going to just give you a sign. That's crazy, right? Your father doesn't have eyes to see Facebook, doesn't have fingers to navigate the internet. You know what I'm getting at? Your father's dead. And instead of having your father's spirit in you in terms of remembrance and all your memories and your ideas of him, instead of just keeping that sacred and holy to you, you have to go ahead and go above and beyond because of these delusions that he can't be gone. And because I feel him through the memories that he has to be physically there. But we know that his body's physically probably 6 feet down in a casket underground somewhere in a cemetery or something, right? Or a lot of people do the cremation thing. Some people even do my idea, which is, bury yourself with a tree or a vegetable or something like that. Bury your essence and have that soak in your spirit. I believe in that Indian, give back to nature that you've took, because you belong to the earth. The earth doesn't belong to you. Anyways, that's neither here or there. The point that I'm getting at is that you can get yourself to such a delusion to that point. And it's not that you are crazy. It's that you are putting something into reality that will respond accordingly to what you want that experiment to result in. That conclusion can only be what your belief is. Because your brain and your ideas cannot handle something that it does not register or understand or ever had any type of understanding to. Your brain, just like, remember I made that video, what are dreams? Or what dreams are? Something like that. Recently, like last week. Made that video. Essentially the same thing. What are your dreams? Your dreams are what you've already experienced or thought of in reality. It's nothing else. It's things that your brain can put together into a belief structure that you can understand. Watch my video, and I always want to suggest this because if you don't understand this video, we can't do 80% of my content. Well, 50% of my content. So it's important to realize we are all hallucinating. Go watch that video if you haven't already. We are all hallucinating. We are all trying to put into context through belief, through evidence, through a million different avenues of how you rearrange your thought process, and we hallucinate that picture to what we understand. Is what is outside objective? Yes, but what's in your mind is not objective. That's subjective. That is an interpretation of the information from the outside realm into your head. That information is decoded by the subject, which is you. You make this belief structure up. It's going to manifest in your mind the way that you believe it. Same way she believed her dad walked across that camera to give her a sign because she wrote on Facebook earlier in a direct message to her father on Facebook, who is dead. Again, I hope that she doesn't watch this video. I doubt she does. I doubt anyone I know in real life actually watched my videos. You know, they have a hard time talking to me in person, let alone hear this next level concepts. You know, they can't handle it. Most people can't handle it. So, anyways, the point is, you're limited. Something that's outside the box, whether even presented with new evidence, you're going to double down on your beliefs. The reason why you double down on your beliefs is because you can't handle new information that tear down the walls of your delusion. It can't be. You need to accept to tear down the walls of your reality, your subjective reality, in order to achieve and entertain new information. You can't entertain it. It's going to go one thing and out the other. I say a leftist talking point, like, you know, we shouldn't vet immigrants. They should just be able to come into this country without a border. Right-wing person, you gotta try, instead of listening to you and understanding where your mind is, they're gonna go fucking crazy. Wow, they rape and murder us. They're gonna take our jobs, right? Dismiss the information, repeat the talking point, double down on that belief. Whether the leftist was right or wrong doesn't matter. It's they aren't ready to engage or entertain that information. Likewise, in all aspects of life. You can only interpret towards your belief structure. They say, scientists say, and whether the numbers are right or wrong, you know, I'm just going to throw some numbers out there because I don't remember the exact numbers. They say for every information that goes into, that tries to penetrate your head, the objective reality, for every 1,000 bits of information, you only let in about 10. So that's 1/100th of the information that you are dismissing at all times. Or 99 out of 100 that you are dismissing at all times. You're just dismissing it. And you can't listen to it, you can't understand, and you might think that you are. But here's the trigger. See, there's a trigger point where if you do entertain a thought, it branches out. That one thought is going to turn into the next step, which is the next step, which is the next step to entertain. Entertain this, entertain that. You can't come up with a new theory like my dimension theory, which 2 weeks ago or something I made that video. I created my own theory. How did I get to that point? Because I kept entertaining the thoughts. And if I just stuck to a belief structure, I would have never made it past step A, step 1, right? I can't make it to that next step, to the next step, to the next step. So we're stuck here, and all the opportunities of all those possibilities to entertain different types of information that can branch out to other information, that can branch out to other information, if you just accept the possibilities. But if you say, I believe that my dad just watched over me and read my Facebook, and I set up a camera, and I saw a shadow go by, it was him. That's because you have a linear thought that can't be branched out and cannot be observed objectively. Reason being is because you're going to be stuck here. One thought, you dismiss 99. Or something like that, right? But that's the point that I'm getting at here. Is that people aren't willing to entertain new thoughts. It is the mark of an intelligent man to entertain a thought without believing it. I forgot who said that. Socrates? No. Voltaire? No. I butcher my quotes, guys. But it's very important to entertain these thoughts. When she sent me this stuff, I'm entertaining it and trying to rationalize what she's getting at. And it's not just her. I get this all the time. Of people saying, I saw this video on YouTube about trucking. Right? And they're like, well, because that information of that head, the person talking, got into their mind, they're stuck in that bubble. They don't understand that there are exceptions. There's other things that entertain about that situation. There's many different divisions in trucking. There's many more regions. There's many more, opportunities. There's many more companies. They all have their different policies. There's 1,000,001 things that's going to affect you driving a truck down the road and have the exact same experience as this guy. No, it's not going to happen. Right? So you need to entertain the possibilities. So a lot of times people like to put, and this is decent, but it's not the best, you put yourself in their shoes and would be like, well, I wouldn't have let that happen. I would do this. And then I would fix the problem that you had. That's great. It's not the best, it's great. But you could go above and beyond and be like, that was yours. That was all, you did that. You put this into reality. And this is understanding. Especially as an empath, we understand. We understand what we are, what we like. And if you get more information about something, don't succumb to that information because it is not concrete. There are variables. There are different things that can alter that, and it essentially is you. You are the master of your reality. Things don't just happen to you. You're depressed? Depression didn't happen to you. You created this depression, just like you can create your happiness. My favorite quote that I've said 1,000,000 times on this channel from Voltaire, I choose to be happy because it's good for my health. Listen to those words. They give you a direct understanding of your power. I choose to be happy. I chose to put a smile on my face right there. I choose to be happy because it is good for my health. Imagine if happiness just fell out of the sky. Doesn't exist. You created that happiness. When you get into an accident on the road, you created that accident. When you set up that camera on top of the refrigerator, hoping that your dad can give you a sign when he's dead and has no energy and no eyes to see what you're doing, you created that shadow. You created that. So it's very important in this video, and I'm going to upload this too, probably the same day. This video is probably a little bit more important than my last video. Yeah, it's more important. The last video was one of those things I wanted to talk about, only because I was talking with my roommate on the phone, and I was telling him, hey, I'm not religious, I understand how it works, but I was down that rabbit hole too. I was down that rabbit hole of satanic stuff and religion. Like I said in the last video, I've read the Bible 6 times. No, I mean 6 times the New Testament, 3 times the last, or the old. But it's been a while. It's been a while. 15, 17, and 21 were the 3 back-to-backs. And then 3 additional New Testaments. But anyways, the point is, if you believe something, same thing like God is showing me something. God is showing me the sign. It's because you believe that. You put it in your mind and you have the blueprint of that. If I don't believe in God, never heard of God, I wouldn't say God is showing me something. I would be more accurate, more objective than being stuck in God showing me that this isn't what I should be doing right now. God's showing me that this person's bad for me and this person's good and I should have follow this career, and God's telling you this? Where's the voice? Oh, it goes into your ear and somehow your brain picks it up? Or is it you just thinking stuff in your head because that's the only way you can interpret it? Same thing like 600 years ago. There's a idea that a lot of people believe that the earth was flat. I mean, people still believe that now. Okay. But they believed the earth was flat, and they took the evidence that they had, and they worked with the evidence that they had, and their belief structures behind them. Therefore, they interpreted the universe and the solar system the way that they did. And if you're stuck in that belief, then you're going to be stuck there. Same thing with Albert Einstein. You think he would have came up with, you know, the general relativity and stuff like that? If he was just going to surrender to previous physics, the ideas and the notions and the equations? No. The reason why he went above and beyond and figured out new things is because he did not surrender to that belief. He did not copy-paste in his mind. He created a new method using as much evidence as he had and not surrendering to what somebody else told him. Right? So it's important to recognize how belief, and I've been talking about this so much lately, but it's just important, and I think I can phrase it a little bit better by saying, you made that happen. There is no, your dad didn't fucking walk across the screen. He didn't. There is no evidence that your father, who's dead in a ground that you can pull up objectively, and you can use him, that's empirical evidence. If I went down there and you said your dad's right there, I pick him up out of the ground, I open the casket, there he is. Then how can you explain that shadow? Because it needs something physical to cast a shadow. You just saw maybe you got up and sleptwalk and your shadow cast against the wall. There's 1,000,001 different things, but it had to happen because you're to confirm your beliefs. I'm going to repeat that again. Your brain needs to confirm the beliefs. It cannot surrender to you being delusional or you were wrong. That's why when you're in an argument, no one wants to admit that they're wrong. It's so hard. It's mind-blowing. It's devastating to admit that you are wrong, but it's the most powerful thing you can do because you can grow and you can move on. But if you're just going to surrender to your beliefs and double down on those beliefs and you tell everyone else that they're liars and you name call them because you have no real evidence or any real logic or reason to back that up, you just dismiss. I'm right. I double down. I can't be wrong. You're an idiot. Your brain needs constant confirmation that you're not delusional. And it will create a realm in which you cannot release from until you surrender to the notion that there's a possibility that you may be wrong. So you're going to be stuck into a realm that you need constant assurance. And that's fucked up. You're not going to grow, you're going to be delusional. And delusions will continue to happen. And you're not going to understand the powers that you have to control this. You can control this simply by changing the way that you think. Change the way you think. The things that, or change the way you see things, the things you see begin to change. They will mold to your beliefs. They will mold to your expectations and your intention. Don't want this to be a long video because I just made a fucking long video. So hopefully we can get this uploaded same day, maybe the day after. But anyways, I got plenty more content coming. Stay tuned for that. See you guys.